I have discovered a formula that has unlocked the financial freedom of hundreds of people who have chosen to join the Urban Clean family. This podcast is about what motivates them. This is more than just a business for me. It's a mission. I'm Damien Boehm, and this is the Urban Clean podcast.
Hello, I'm Julia Sirignani for In Profile. On this episode of the Urban Clean podcast, I have the pleasure of doing a deep dive with Damien himself. And he's going to talk about what's driving him right now and where he wants to take the Urban Clean brand. Hi, Damien. Good to see you.
Great to see you too, Julia.
Now, Damien, you often talk and write about how this is not just a business for you, this is a mission. Can you describe that mission for us?
I I got into commercial cleaning almost by accident. It wasn't intentional. I was looking for a way to provide for my family, and I was hard up. And then I found a business that could create a real opportunity for people to advance, to provide for their families, and to achieve their goals. And so my mission now is to share that business with other people. So whether they want to get started in commercial cleaning, or even do what I eventually did, which was franchising the business out and becoming a master franchise. So, first of all, when I operated a commercial cleaning business, I got financial freedom. I wasn't worried about my bills anymore. When I went down the road of master franchising, I had discovered a business model that allowed me to get my time back and to give other people an amazing opportunity to do well in business. And yeah, commercial cleaning is a great industry. Franchising is also an amazing business model when it's done right.
When you were really at the outset imagining and designing this business model, what really were your main drivers? What were the core principles that were driving you?
Well, I think for any business to succeed, it needs to first identify customer needs. And so there's no business doesn't exist without customers, and to get customers, you've got to provide for what they want. And so when I first set out in the business, it was to find out uh, what are the problems that my customers were facing, especially in commercial cleaning? So, what was the things that really bugged them about other cleaning services, or for that matter, when I started even my own? So, I asked them, what would an ideal cleaning service look like to them? And they were very honest with me, and they gave me the answers that I was looking for. Then I went to work to design a business model around that. Once I found that I had a successful business and it was making good money, um, I came to a crossroads because I was winning so much business, and I thought, well, other people could use this and other people could follow the business model that I created and have their own business with franchising. And that sort of led me down the franchise road. And then I had another set of problems, as it were, which is, well, what do new business owners want? So, what's a great franchise model? And so I had to get to work to not only identify what people were looking for when they got started in a commercial cleaning business or any business for that matter, but also make sure that there was an alignment between the service that we were providing as a cleaning service as well as a franchise business, and that's not always easy. So in the early stages, we really had to make sure that there was a close alignment between the objectives of a new business owner as a franchisee as well as the outcomes that a cleaning client was looking for.
When someone, a budding entrepreneur, is looking for an opportunity, what do you say is so attractive about commercial cleaning? There are lots of things that they could do. Why choose commercial cleaning?
Well, commercial cleaning has a lot of unfair advantages that many industries don't have. The biggest one is that it's recurring billing. So I sometimes think of commercial cleaning as the original subscription business, but it's even better than the original subscription business because some softwares just can be done away with, or you can have some sort of subscriptions to things that they're nice for a while, but then a business doesn't need it. But cleaning is always in demand. A business is always going to need cleaning. And so you've got the stickiness related to recurring billing. You've got something that everybody knows that they need to spend money on. And believe me, if the cleaners disappear, everybody in the office knows about it. So everyone's going to be jumping up and down saying, "Where's the cleaners?" So it has to be done. And then people will sign contracts. So they'll sign long-term agreements, 1, 2 years, sometimes more. And if you keep our philosophy is you get a client once and you keep them forever. So the idea is that we sign them up with business. They're so happy with our service, and they are because we've identified. There's 6 things, in fact, that clients are looking for, and we've identified what they are. We've developed systems around what they are, and we know that as long as they're in business, we'll be cleaning them, we'll be servicing their office. The other advantage of commercial cleaning too is that it opens the door to a lot of other services. And so we find a lot of our franchisees aren't just cleaning buildings, they're also providing products, they're providing coffee, they're providing additional services. And so there's these other potential revenue streams that come naturally with commercial cleaning because often once you build that trust and the expertise, clients are going to want a one-stop shop. So they're looking often at the commercial cleaners to provide them for all these additional services to keep their office and their business running smoothly without any hiccups. So yeah, there's a lot of advantages in commercial cleaning. And it's very attractive for people to know that they don't have to go out every single month and make new sales. And that's something that a lot of businesses are challenged with is that every month starts at zero. So if you have a cafe or a restaurant, of course you want to rely on the goodwill and the reputation that you have. But when you open your doors at the beginning of each month, there's no guarantee that you're going to have customers come through. And so you've got to always be pushing marketing. You've always got to be trying to, convince people to do business with you a second time, a third time, because that's where the profit is. But that's already built in commercial cleaning. So people, and you don't need to go out and get new clients. I mean, some of our franchisees, once they get a certain amount of business that they're happy with, often they're not interested in doing anything other than sort of building their client base, so getting them to that client to spend more money with them. They're not worried about going out and getting new clients. They're already making plenty of money. So there's a lot of leverage with commercial cleaning.
What is your mantra to new master franchises and franchisees? What is it that you always want to reinforce as a sort of guiding principle?
That's a great question, Julia. One thing I say to everybody who gets into this business is that cleaning is a people business. It's not about vacuum cleaners. It's not about mops, and although they're obviously the things that we do, the tools that we use to operate the business, it's primarily about communication. It's primarily about relationships, and so that's a big focus that we have is it's people first. So it's people first inside of our business, people out first as well, dealing with customers and responding to feedback from our customers. And we've found sometimes that some of our franchisees, um, they may not excel at being efficient, the most efficient, let's say, in cleaning. I like to think that they're doing fantastic work, and they're super efficient, doing great cleans all the time. But some teams can be a little bit slower, and some franchisees a little bit slower. But they can make the profit just by having great communication with their clients. So clients tend to be quite flexible with their budget if they're getting the outcomes that they want. And often, well, we know one of the big outcomes they're looking for is being able to be listened to, that the problems or issues, not so much with the cleaning, but just with the function of their office. So there's things that are really important every day that staff are walking in and they see it, that could be desks organized in a certain way, the windows looking some or the reception or whatever it is, that needs to absolutely get done every single time. And if they can communicate easily with their team of cleaners, and those things are definitely getting done each clean because clients are getting listened to, then they're happy to pay extra. So they're happy to pay extra, and so that profit is always there for the franchisee if they're dealing with people first, rather than just thinking, "Okay, I've got to go in and I've got to do cleaning and do a great job cleaning." Because if you don't get the people stuff right, it doesn't matter how good your cleaning is, your business is gonna struggle.
I've heard other members of the Urban Clean family say that you often tell them to make sure they remember that they are a business owner, an entrepreneur, and not a cleaner. Can you really explain, unpack that distinction for me?
Yeah, so I think one of the advantages of our system is franchisees come in and that we give them a guaranteed amount of cleaning contracts. So that gives them a lot of certainty entering into the business. They know they're going to get a return on their investment. They know they're going to be making money. The danger, of course, is that because they've got cleaning contracts day one, they didn't have to go out and win those cleaning contracts themselves. They can fall into the trap of thinking, "Oh, I'm a contractor or I'm just a cleaner and I've got a number of cleaning contracts." And so they forget that there's a business behind it all that makes everything run and make their business profitable. So we invest a lot in education and teaching franchisees that first and foremost, they're business owners. Yes, it's great that they get started with cleaning contracts. So that's a clear advantage of coming into our system. And in fact, our master franchisees, many of them produce so many cleaning contracts that uh, unit franchisees are sort of overwhelmed with how much business comes their way. But then the danger, of course, is, okay, am I still thinking like I'm a business owner? And it's good having contracts given to you, but the question I always give for unit franchises is, well, how big can you also grow? How many cleaning contracts can you win on your own, or how can you grow the accounts that you've already got to get what we call wallet share in the business?
Damien, I know that mentorship is really at the heart of Urban Clean, and or one of the parts of the heart of Urban Clean. What does that word mean to you? What does the word mentorship mean to you?
Mentorship, what mentorship means to me is having someone there who's gone in front of you where you wanna go. So they've got, the knowledge, they've got the experience, they've got, the runs on the board, and you can pick up the phone or you can have scheduled, coaching sessions where they can sort of guide you and make sure that you're not off on the wrong track, and I think that's one of the big advantages of franchising, especially franchising done right. It's about being in business by yourself, but not alone. So not all on your own. And so that's the idea is that you don't get lost wondering, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? Or should I be focused on this? Or should I be going in this direction? And I've always been a big believer of having guides and having mentors in business. I have them myself. And the franchise system is about having them there too, because in business can be very lonely, and you can easily go down the wrong path if you don't have someone who's been there, done that, and gone ahead of you, made those steps that you want to make, or those levels of business you want to make, and can guide you towards getting in the right direction and getting the same results that they've got.
We know you want growth, of course, for the brand and also for all that join the Urban Clean family. What have you learned, Damien, in your career as an entrepreneur is the smartest way to pursue growth?
Smartest way to pursue growth? That's another great question, Julia. So I think
Thanks, Damien.
So, I think a lot of businesses, they confuse, marketing and they confuse sort of opening up new locations with growth. I mean, that's just one strategy for growth, but it's not growth itself. I always think that the best way to grow is to do what you do really well. So to get and then growth is going to happen anyway. Yes, you've got to market. Yes, you've got to open up new locations, but the primary focus needs to be how do we get better at what we do? How do we serve customers better? How do franchisees get better results? How do master franchisers succeed and equip and train and lead unit franchises for their own success? So I think what we put a lot of focus on sort of tooling up and educating and making sure that everyone's equipped to go out into business and succeed. And I think success just comes on its own. So what we find is a master franchise will get started in a territory, and before long, referrals are starting to come in from other franchisees because word gets out fairly quickly that, oh gosh, this person's got these results and they're in a commercial cleaning business very quickly. How do I get involved? How do I join up with a system like this? And that's a big reason why we've got 150 plus franchises in a few short years, is because we focus a lot on how do we get better at what we do? How do we make their businesses better? And I can tell you definitely the business that a franchisee invests in today is worlds apart from the business that they invested in the first year of us franchising. Night and day difference, in fact. It's just got better and better every single year. And I really like the um, analogy. I think I can't remember who it is. It's one of those business books. And it's the two stories of the actors. So there's one person who, there's two people who go out and have to chop a tree down. One person just grabs their axe and just goes at it at a tree, and they're all day. And then the other person is there, and all they're doing is just sharpening and grinding down the axe. So they're spending all that time. So when they go to the tree, it's only going to take a couple of seconds to knock it down. And so I always think that's a great analogy in business is, you got to sharpen the axe, you got to make it better and easier, because you can spend a lot of time running around like a lunatic, not knowing what you're doing in business. Whereas a little bit of thought, preparation, planning, and just refining what you're doing, uh, that's not to say you shouldn't be taking action, but it's just should be clear action what you're doing and getting better at what you do, and you're going to succeed. I just think that just in general in life and in business, if you just do what you're meant to do well, you're just going to get the results.
Don't bring a blunt axe to the arena. All right. I'm Most inspiring moment you've had since you began the Urban Clean story.
There's many inspiring moments. I think for me personally was when someone actually decided to buy a franchise from me. That shocked me. So that was my first year, because a lot of people were telling me, "Oh, that's not going to work. No one's going to want to buy your business." I actually had someone to tell me, "No one's going to buy that business from you, Damien." It was actually someone who inquired about the franchise, and they were pretty adamant that no, this is a bad idea. And so, uh, when I sold my first franchise, it was sort of, for me personally, it was quite validating. It's like, oh, someone actually believes in it, and then soon enough, it really took form. But I think that the next inspiring moment was actually seeing. I'm not. I'm going to say three. Sorry, Julie. I know you asked for one. I'm going to do three. So the next one was when we. This was probably the second year in the business, third year in the business franchising, and I had this one franchisee couple came in, and they were in tears, and they were just telling me how much Urban Clean had changed their life, and how they were able to get out of their job that they hated, how it allowed them not only to get financially secure, but also allowed them to invest. They bought their own home, then they went and bought other businesses. And so I realized that this was more than just a cleaning business I was giving to people. This was actually changing people's lives. And then the third one was probably more recently, where I've had some master franchises just hit amazing goals. And so, seeing people become millionaires within just a couple of years of getting started in the business for a very low investment sort of blew me out of the water. In fact, it even surprised me that people could get those results so quickly in the system that we've developed. And so, they're probably the three inspiring moments for me in this business.
I'm inspired. That sounds certainly inspiring. Finally, Damien, I want to ask you, if we were to sit down in 12 months and I said, "How's business?" What would you want to be telling me?
I use a story that I read recently from Saint Francis of Assisi, of all people. So I think one of his monks came up to him and asked him, if you knew that it was the end of the world this afternoon, what would you be doing? And he replied, I would be doing what I'm doing right now, which is gardening. And that's so and obviously they were surprised by that response, but it's one of those things, if you're on the right track, it's not so much about, okay, where you're gonna be in 12 months or in 5 years. Well, I'm just gonna keep on doing what I'm doing. So it's working. Um, People are happy with the business. And I wanna make them happier. I wanna create a better opportunity for people to get in the business. So, in a sense, I would see success as just continuing to do what we're doing right now, focusing on improving. I'm gonna get better, our franchisees are gonna get better, there's no question about it. That's what you can't stay static in business, but it'll be just continuing doing what we're doing right now.
If I can just add a sneaky extra question, dot and dot, stay tuned for.
Stay tuned for, well, um we are going obviously, into different locations. We've got the UK planned. We're talking to people as well about the US opening. We also have a lot of international stuff going. We just got someone who's got a lot of experience opening up international locations. He's joined our team just recently. So yeah, there's a lot of exciting things. I'm actually in our new office, so we just bought an office, and it's going to be a training centre. So that's the idea, is that people can come in from all over Australia and international and do training with us. So yeah, there's a lot of, I guess, exciting things on the horizon very shortly.
Oh, well, Urban Clean's got a new home. Welcome home. Damien, it is always such a pleasure to listen to you and your business insights. So thanks so much for joining us on your Urban Clean podcast.